drop. Okay, right there. Same thing here. Now, as price pushes down, right, and then we have a reversal to the upside. This is another supply and demand zone here. Now, I'm on the 4-hour chart, but this thing happens on the monthly chart, on the weekly chart, on the daily chart, on the 4-hour chart, on the 1-hour chart, on the 30-minute chart, on the 15-minute chart, on the 5-minute chart, on the 1-minute chart. It happens all through the chart. However, the higher the time frame, the stronger your zones are, right? And if you are day trading, you want to notice your supply and demand zones on your daily or 4-hour chart. Okay, so that's why we're on the 4-hour chart here, just having a look. Right, so we have here now a drop and then it pushes back up. In this instant, we call this a drop, a base, and a rally. Okay, a drop, a base, and a rally. If I go down to the 1-hour chart, you'll probably be able to see it a bit better. Well, at least the base anyways. Okay, so in here, we have a drop, a base, and a rally up. Now, you'll start to notice something about these zones as well. So you see here a drop, base, a rally, and look at what price did. Came back down into there, pushed up, right? And then came back down into here and pushed up. So I'll go back onto a bigger time frame, right? So this one is called a drop, a base, and a rally, right? R-A-L-L-Y. Okay. Okay. All right. So as price is pushing up, it pushes up, it pauses, then it pushes up again, continuing. We have another supply and demand zone here. In this case, it is called a rally, a base, and then a rally. Okay. All right. And the last one is when price pushes up and eventually we have a push up and then it drops, right? So we have a rally up here, um, a, a base or more or less sideways movement, and then a drop. So in fact, this whole zone right here, right, this whole zone right here is actually your rally base drop supply and demand zone. So we could actually see all four types just in this price movement, right? Rally base drop. So on the premise of all of this is whenever you see me marking my zones off, it's just this I'm looking at, right? It's just this I'm looking at. I'm looking to see where these zones are in the market because as you can see here, price dropped out of this zone, but it came back, retested, and then dropped. Right? This is not support and resistance. Right? This is not support and resistance. Right? You could see here, price dropped here. It pushed up in this zone, had a little bit of a reaction. It had a little bit of an overspill, but a reaction here dropped down there, reacted in this zone, pushed up. Right? Price pushed up. It didn't come all the way back down. Just continued going. Okay, continued going, continued pushing. Created a zone up here, then dropped off. Okay. So it could be very good places for potential entries. We do have to still mark off our support and resistance zone though, because as you can see in this case, price actually pushed up a little bit above this zone and then dropped. So support and resistance is important, um, but just to identify and know where they are. Okay, so let me just give you that so that you could take a screenshot and screenshot these zones here. I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So let's come back now to our trade setup here on this Euro NZ, Euro JPY. And you could see that I clearly marked off a zone down here, and I said, wait for price to get down in here before we look for a buying position. Hold on a second, please. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Hold on. Casey, I'm on advanced channel teaching now. Okay. So you can see that I've got this zone marked off here, and basically what it is a drop, a base, and a rally. Drop, base, rally twice. Okay. So that's the zone I marked off. Now we could get our entries even clearer and cleaner when we go down to smaller time frames. So if I go down to a 1 hour time frame here, I probably could have gotten that entry a bit better, right? Meaning I could have potentially marked off just this 1 hour candle right here, the red one before it pushed up, or even if I go down to a smaller time frame, 15-minute time frame, right? You could get these even clearer. I could pull this down a little bit. Okay, just mark off that 15-minute candle right here. So people ask, so what time frame are you trading on? Well, I'm actually looking at the daily, I'm looking at the 4 hour, I'm looking at 1 hour, 15 minutes for entries. So you can even see here, price pushed up here, came back down into the zone of 15-minute chart, pushed up. So you get really clean entries for your trades. And in fact, I remember, I think we took this trade, we took this buy trade, okay, last week. So if I go back down, back to my, to where today is, and when price came back in there, so people were sweating, right? So you could see I could have actually had a better entry price if I used the 15-minute chart. I didn't. I was on the like 1 hour or 4 hours, right? So that's why we had all of that drawdown. So now where price currently is, if I'm looking at this 15-minute chart right here, if I erase this for a minute, somebody was asking, should we enter? Well, we had this impulse to the upside. Price is now coming back, forming a flag formation. We have a supply and demand zone down in here. Boom, boom, boom. A drop, a base, and a rally up. So what I'm looking for now is for price to actually dip into there. Right? To dip into there. This is my 15-minute chart. I'm looking for an entry now. I'm looking for a dip right into that zone and then a push move to the upside. Okay. So what's the trade looking like? So if you're not in the trade, If you missed it, I'm going to set an alert here. So it's always good to set an alert because it's not going to hit 100% of the time as anything in trading. Okay, as anything in trading, it's not going to hit 100% of the time. This is why we manage our risks appropriately. We do have non-farm payrolls, so we got to be aware of that. But what I'm looking for is for price to dip down in here, and then we get a move away. Okay, and the stop loss doesn't need to be. In fact, we could use the same 116.2 as the stop loss length or the stop loss area. So that gives you about 40 pips or so, 38 pips. Cool. And we're looking for a take profit target back up here as a take profit target 1. Now, if we do some mathematics, right?
All right, guys, let's stop there for now. So all of my note takers, drop into the chat box one type of supply and demand zone. Drop into the chat box one type of supply and demand zone. I want to make sure you guys are receiving this information. Amazing, Sheba. Drop base rally. Amazing. Next one, guys. Rally, base rally. Amazing. Next one. Two more, guys. Two more. Are you guys really taking your notes? Because we just went through it 5 minutes ago. What are the other two? Drop, base, drop. Amazing. And then the final one. Rally, base, drop. Amazing. Amazing. You can definitely see who the note takers are. Great. Let's keep it moving. Does that make sense so far, guys? Are you understanding what Barley is saying regarding the supply and demand zones? All right, let's press play.
If we do some mathematics, 2 seconds. Okay. If we do some mathematics here, we're risking 38 pips. If we do a multiplication by 2, right, multiplied by 2, as 76 pips. So if we go to 76, sorry, not 2, I want to do by 3. Right, so if we do this by 3, the 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. All right, well, yeah, we're up in that area up there, 117 pips. So in that zone is actually that's a good risk to reward ratio for your trades. All right, so TP1 117, right? Let me see my calculation. 114. So 114 should be fine. That gives you your risk your risk 1% to gain 3% on your account. Okay. The reality is that we're actually looking for a bigger move on this Euro GBP. Whether that happens or not, we're still waiting to see. Again, you could see here, this is the daily chart. I told you that this happens on all time frames. You see the daily chart right here? Look at what happened there. Right? Price came back down into this zone once, twice, pushed up. All right, let me don't get ahead of myself. Any questions at all? Any questions at all? You're still in Euro JPY? Okay, that's cool. All right, if it pulls back at break even, if it pulls back at break even and it stopped you out, we just look for another entry to get back in. All right, wait for it to pull back to that zone that I marked off there, and then we get back in. Which candle on the 15-minute time frame? It is, so if I go down to the 15-minute time frame, you see these red candles here before the move up. That's what I identify. These red candles here before that move up. So these down candles here before the move up, that's how I identify my zone. Okay. So if you got stopped out, just wait for price to get back up in here. We look for some rejection and then we get in. You could put a limit order, but the limit order is an aggressive way of getting in, because this could continue just dropping out of the sky, right? Can continue dropping. So if you drop, if you wait for price to drop like this, okay, and then we wait to get a rejection, like so, similar to what I was saying today, as price was pushing down into that zone, we wait for a 1 hour candle to close, or a 30-minute candle to close in the buy direction before you jump in for the buy, right? So same thing here. Preferably at least a 30-minute or 1 hour time frame for price to get down into the zone, wait for that rejection candle to form, and then you jump in. Okay, so in this case, the 30-minute candle closed in the upside and you could have jumped in there. But we're definitely looking for a bigger trade, right? A bigger move on this, right? Where you see your wicks, okay, wherever you see these wicks here, right? These are just supply and demand zones, but on smaller time frames. Okay, similar to here where we see these wicks down here is just supply and demand zones, but on smaller time frames. This is the daily. So it's always nice to look at your daily chart. It's always good to look at your daily chart. So we could check out something else. Let's check out our USD JPY.
All right, guys. So that was about your supply and demand zones. I have recorded it for those who came on a bit late, but we're going to jump onto our trading view And we're going to see if we can spot these zones ourselves, right? We're going to see if we can spot these zones ourselves. So we are on Euro USD. Let's go to the 4-hour chart, right? Let me just remove Jordan's. All right, so all right, so we have quite a few here, but guys, drop me in the first or one of the supply and demands, right? Drop me in one of the supply and demand zones. So like Annette said, you need to be able to see it regularly to understand what is going on, right? So rally base drop, right? Rally base drop, amazing. So looking at my screen right now, do you see a rally base drop, right? Looking at my screen, what I've got on my screen right here, do you think you can see a rally base drop? Drop me a yes or a no in the chat box. So Annette said yes. Anyone else? Do you think we can see a rally, a base, and a drop? All right, so let's take a look at this, right? So here, guys, is what I would say is a rally, a base, and a drop, right? So we are rallying up, it's going up, right? A base is when we have consolidation, right? So a base is when we have consolidation here. Right, price is just moving sideways. And then it did indeed drop, right? It did indeed drop. Drop, rally, base, drop. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know if that makes sense. It rallied up, it consolidated and went sideways, and then it dropped. Yeah. Amazing. So these are supply and demand zones, right? So we can see that this is a demand zone. So if the same thing happened again further down, we would expect the same thing to happen, right? It happened here as well. Remember what Barley said, supply and demand zones are not the same as support and resistance, right? Supply and demand zones is where there is strong movement in the market or market manipulation. All right, okay, amazing, Sim. Sim said, I think I see a drop base drop as well. Love that. I love that. All right, so Sim, unmute and talk to me, guide me to where you can see the drop base drop.
It's back a bit further. Just before you moved, it changed. Yeah, you see, where it says Euro USD dollar, where you see the red candles.
Okay.
And then where it kind of consolidates as a base, and then it drops again.
Amazing. All right. So
that's what I was seeing, but because I couldn't see it all, that's why I said I think I see it. But yeah, I can see it now. that you move back a bit.
Yeah, so here.
Yeah, drop,
Yeah.
drop, base, and then drop.
Amazing. Amazing. Can everyone see that, guys, right? So it dropped. We had the base here, and then it dropped again. So it dropped, it consolidated, played around a little bit here, major consolidation here, basically moved sideways, and then we went back down again. So how many times have you seen the educator say, okay, if it comes back into this zone, we're going to want it to come back down, right? And it most definitely did that here, right? It came back into this consolidation zone, this base zone, and it dropped again. Yeah, does that make sense, guys? So that is a drop, base, drop. So far we have done a rally, base, drop, and we've done a drop, base, drop. So next one, guys. Please feel free to take screenshots, but you will also get the recording of this. Sim, you see another one? Amazing. Show me. Talk to me.
You see at the bottom. Oh, what's happened to my screen?
Yeah.
At the bottom where the arrow is, that one would be a drop where the red candles drop down, base, and then a rally. Over, yeah, right there. Yeah, so that would be a drop, base, and rally.
Amazing, 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 amazing. Can you guys see this? It dropped. Consolidation here. Rallied back up, right? So it dropped down. We had our consolidation here. Rallied back up. As we can see, price came back down into our consolidation zone, rallied back up, right? Drop me a 1 if that makes sense, guys. It's a drop, it's a base, it's a rally. All of these things help you to see what the market is telling you, right? The market is literally just history repeating itself multiple times, right? Multiple times. So we've got one more. Right? Drop into the chat box. What is the final one? So we've had drop, base, drop. We've had drop, base, rally. What is that final one? And where can we see it? Ah, what have I done? Oh, here we go. All right, so I can see it a little bit here. Yes, amazing, Sim. I love that. All right, so guys, final one is rally, base, rally, right? Rally, base, rally. It's going up. It creates a base. We're moving sideways. So we're rallying, we're basing, we're rallying again. Does that make sense, guys? Right? It's going up. It starts to consolidate. It continues to go up. Once again, the supply and demand zone comes back in. It didn't go all the way up, but it went up a little bit, right? But rally, base, rally. What you got to understand, guys, is this is a 4-hour chart, right? This is a 4-hour chart. But what Barley said is that you can see the stronger structure in the bigger time frame. So when we have 4 hours, when we have a day chart, right, you are able to see the stronger structure, right? This is why it's important to mark up, guys, in my opinion, on a bigger time frame, because you can see, right, you can see this drop base rally a lot quicker, a lot easier, right? When you're on a bigger time frame. If you do it on a 15-minute, we'll be seeing drop base rallies every 2 seconds, right? So you find it on your bigger time frame. My computer is not cooperating today at all. You find your zones on your bigger time frame, and then you go down to your smaller time frames, like the hour, right? And can you guys see that it's just still playing out exactly the same, right? It's still playing out. We go down to the 15-minute. All right, we go down to the 15-minute. And this is when you will start to find your entries, right? Why is this not even? Here we go. Right, this is where you will start to find your entries. So we saw here, we had a rally. We had a rally, we had a base, we had a rally. It came back down into the zone. And then you could have taken it for a few pips, right? Like 80 pips, right? Does that make sense, guys? Spot the supply and demand zones in the market, and you will start to see what the market is telling you. This is sheer naked trading. There's nothing, no indicators or anything per se. It is just the candles telling you what is happening in the market, right? Does anyone have any questions before I set the homework? Anyone have any questions? Remember, guys, no question is a silly question. You can unmute, or we're gonna get down to the homework. So guys, the homework is this, right? I want you to open up your trading view and mark out the different supply and demand zones, and drop them in the index infusion section, right? Drop me a 2 if you are committing to doing this homework, guys. Remember what I said at the beginning of the call, what you put in is what you get out, right? What you put in is most definitely what you put out, right? Amazing, Roger. No worries. Practice makes perfect. This is the thing, guys. Do not be afraid of doing it wrong and dropping it in or anything like that. We are all learning on our journey, right? We are all learning on our journey. So it's super, super important. Practice will definitely give us the results. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back here and let you screenshot, if it does. Let you screenshot that picture that he did. Here we go. All right, so screenshot that, guys. So you can see at the beginning, oh, actually, I'll show you where to find the video again, because I don't think I was recording it from then. But yeah, take a screenshot of this. So you guys can see it. And then I will show you. So if you have FRX Elite DCX, you should be able to get access to it. Amazing, Audra, you've got that now. Right, so what you do is you go to go live. You go to go live, we scroll down to FRX Academy, right? Barley is all the way at the end. You'll click Barley Granville, go to his favorite sessions, and it is right here, supply and demand zones, right? So you can rewatch that video. You can also watch this recording as well, but we are going to jump on our trading view. It does not matter what currency pair it is, but we want to be sorting out and finding our 4 different supply and demand zones, guys. Also, please drop your takeaways in the index infusion section for anyone who wasn't able to jump on this call and can still get the value. And I will indeed drop in this video as soon as I have uploaded it, guys, right? So let me just stop this recording.